Have you recently purchased a new or used vehicle, or perhaps you're researching for a new or used vehicle, but you're wondering how to set up and use all the technology that we find in a driver's information system and the infotainment screen? If so, you're at the right place. Hi folks, I'm Nathan with Two Guys in a Ride, and today I'm going to show you how to do just that. But before I do, take a moment to give us a like and hit that subscribe button down below. Let's get started.
Today we're working with our friends at Maury's Brooklyn Park Subaru in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. All right, welcome to our how-to video on the 2022 Subaru Legacy Touring XT. And we're going to start with the driver's information screen. Now, you've got an analog RPM gauge and a engine temp gauge on the left. You've got an analog speedometer and fuel gauge on the right. And then in between, you have about a 4.2-inch digital screen. And the buttons you use to manipulate that information are right down here. Okay? So if I use the up or down arrows, it's a fairly simple system. Right now I'm showing a compass. So if I just use the down arrow or the up arrow, either one, it brings me to the next screen. Now this is tire pressure and it doesn't show because we need to be moving. Down here, if next screen, you've got, it shows the auto start stop, and then your fuel gauge shows you how many gallons you've used. And then over here, you've got a timer. And then over here, you've got instant miles per gallon, and then how many miles you have to go till empty. And if I go up again, you get your average miles per gallon, and then again, how many gallons you have left till empty. You get the time and the outside temperature. Then you come to media. So then down below that information, you have got your digital speedometer. And then of course you got some dummy lights, like your auto start stop is crossed out because it's not active. You've got your eyesight symbol, that the green means it's active. That's the bullseye with the kind of the eyeball in the middle. You got your gear selector, and of course you have trip A showing. And if I click the trip reset button once and let it go, it goes to trip B. And now if I press and hold, it's going to reset. I don't want to do that. You notice on the dashboard there were a couple of things that had trip A or trip B on them. I'm going to go back here. So the average miles per gallon. If you're on the screen and you press the trip button, you get the average of trip B. Okay, in this case, they're the same, but okay. And basically, that's the driver's information screen. So again, fairly simple. Now, we're going to move over to the infotainment screen. All right, the infotainment screen itself is an 11.6-inch screen. It has an Harman Kardon 12-speaker 576 equivalent watts, and that's because it uses a green edge amplifier, which is environmentally friendly, so they always call it an equivalent wattage, but equivalent to 576 watts. It's a nice sound system. On the left of the screen, you have some physical buttons. So you've got your hazards up here. You've got a rotary volume. If you tap it once quickly and let it go, it's a mute. If you push and hold, it'll pop up a message asking you if you want to turn off the screen. Okay? Now everything still functions, but the screen goes off, which is sometimes nicer for nighttime driving. You do have a physical front defroster, and then you can adjust the driver's temperature. Over on the right, you can adjust the passenger temperature. You can click on your rear defrost, which also activates your outside mirror defrost. And then you have a tune button right here, so you can change stations. The screen is kind of split into 4 areas. So at the top is where you have like your outside temp, your time, and then your media. Then you have your apps, or your navigational display in here, or your backup camera. So you've got vehicle information right here. You can turn on and off your auto start stop right there. This is your home button. And then you have profiles right here. Down below that, you've got your climate control. So at the very top, if you want to, you notice there are 4 dashes. So if I click, okay, so here you get rated on your acceleration, your fuel consumption, the eyesight indicator comes on, and then the angle at which you're driving, which is really cool. And then on the current weather in the town you're at, if you click on it, you can get a little bit of a forecast. So now 3 hours from now, 6 hours from now, and a high and a low. So I mean, it's just nice little features that are right there. Coming down to the screen itself here, of course, you've got, this one does come with navigation. So if I click on the map, all right, we've got this beautiful map here, and let's talk about how to plot a course. Well, the easiest way is just to use voice command. So let's try that out.
Please say a command.
Find McDonald's.
I found a few results under McDonald's. Please choose a line number or say correction.
3.
Line 3, McDonald's. Are you ready to start navigating here?
Yes.
Starting route guidance.
Okay, so that's all done with voice command. All I did was press the button once, and then I just waited for the prompt, and then I answered the question it asked. Okay, so if I press let's go, then it's going to start the map. Now, I like it that Subaru puts a physical, just a end soft touch button right there on the screen for you, so you can end the route instantly. A couple of other ways you can plot an address is by typing it in, and you can get that by going to the magnifying glass or the menu. Menu gets a few more options, so you can add your home address so it's always there. You can do a search, you can look at recent destinations or favorites. So, and then you can start favorites so that they show up all the time. So I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to say this is not going to be near me. I'm going to go to whole map, and I'm going to type in Billings, Montana. There. Okay, Billings, Montana. 730 miles. So I'll click on that one, and then I'm going to say drive. It's found the fastest route, okay? And now I should be able to press let's go, and then it zooms into where I'm at. All right, we'll press end. All right, to get back to the home screen again, you're gonna press the home button. All right, so that's navigation. Radio and media are two separate buttons here. So radio is going to give us FM, AM, and Sirius XM. So basically anything except for like your phone or a USB or Bluetooth, that kind of stuff. All right, the way it works, you want to go to your sound settings. On any one of these, you can see that they're the same screen. So we'll just stick with FM for a minute. If I go here, I go right into the sound settings. Okay? And they're just click and drag, or you can use the arrows. All right, press the X to get out of it. HD radio, you can have that on or off just by clicking on it. If it's possible to replay something, that button's there. You can look at a station list, and then here are your favorites. And you've got an arrow on the right, so there are more favorites. And all you got to do to save one is press and hold. And there it is. And you can overwrite an existing one. All right. You notice that Sirius XM and FM are all on the same favorites list. That's because they put all three of these, including AM, on the favorites list. It's any favorite that you have. All right. If you want to physically tune, you can just use this button or this dial right here. All right. So if I go to Sirius XM, you notice at the top here changes. So if I go to home again, now I've got Sirius XM, and if I click on it, I get my basic controls to change the channels. So this will reflect whatever you've chosen. Now the media button over here gives you all your other stuff. A CD, which is underneath the center armrest, iPod or iPhone, an auxiliary device that's plugged into the 3.5 millimeter jack below, and then this arrow's lit up, so we have a few more choices: Bluetooth, USB. So let's go to Bluetooth for a minute. And I'm going to pull my phone out, and I'll show you how to connect real quickly. You just go to add a device. I'm going to make sure my phone is on. I'm going to go to my settings. I'm going to go to my Bluetooth, and I am going to look for Legacy Outback. And here it is on my phone. So I'm going to click it. I'm going to make sure that pin is the same. Hit pair. Now, it says, do you want to allow contacts and favorites to sync? I don't, but if it was your car, you would want to do that, because then all your contacts are in there. Okay, so now I'm connected via Bluetooth. Now, this does have Apple CarPlay, it has Android Auto, it has, of course, Bluetooth, AM, FM, Sirius XM, but the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are a wired connection. So I'm going to just turn my phone over here, and if I click on, say, Pandora, and then I can click on a station, and if I hit play, all right, there it comes. And now you notice it's up here at the top again. So that's how you add a phone via Bluetooth. All right, now I'm gonna go to home again, and we're gonna go to phone. Now my phone's connected. All right, so I can look at recents, favorites, phone book, which I'm not gonna have. If you did yours and you allowed it to sync, these would all show up, and messages. All right, you can bring up your keypad to dial a number, but you can also use your voice command and your phone buttons to make a phone call. All right, let's go back to home. All right, let's go to apps right here. You've got, if Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, if I was plugged in, like I have an iPhone, Apple CarPlay would show up. You do have the Subaru Starlink, you've got Travel Link, and you've got My Subaru built in already. I'm going to go to home for a minute. Car info. All right, here you get some driving statistics. You get the advanced package here where you can see all the different safety systems. Okay, and then you can go to maintenance. Okay, and then you can set these. So if I click on the gear wheel, I can click on here and I can set the dates. So nice way to keep track of, you know, a basic maintenance schedule, your tire rotations, oil filter, and your engine oil change. Okay. Now the nice thing on this screen is, even though you've got all these symbols, if you click on a symbol, it's going to give you some definitions and tells you what you can do. You can turn this on or off. Your lane departure set on or off, eyesight assist monitor. Okay, and then you can scroll down. So it gives you all, no matter which one you click, I guess it gives you all of them. Okay, you can't set anything from there, but it tells you where to do it. All right, the info button down below gives you the same information as clicking on any of the other icons. All right, I'm gonna go to home. All right, we're gonna go down to settings. So here you got general, sound, and navigation. You also have phone, radio, and car. So we'll go through a couple of these. This is where you can set your clock. Okay, you can set it down here. Click the X when you're done. You can adjust the display. Okay, brightness dial, brightness contrast. A reminder screen that you can do like a birthday or an anniversary or maintenance. So it pops up when you need your oil change, pops up when you need your tires rotated, that kind of stuff, or a birthday. Meter screen. So you can have initial gauge movement, so when you start the car, the gauges move. Okay. Meter information screen, eco gauge. You can have it be outside temperature and clock. You can have it be a compass, or you can have gas range. If I go down here, I got some more options. I can look at the cameras. Rear camera delay control. So if I turn that on, what'll happen is, after I come out of reverse into drive, the rear view camera will stay on up until about 5 miles an hour, then it stops and shuts off. Your steering angle lines can be off or on, and you can see those if I put it in reverse. Okay, you see those lines? All right, so if I go back here and I turn those off and put it in reverse again, see those dynamic guidelines are gone. Now you just get the dash lines. All right. We'll hit the X to get out of there. You got tire pressure units you can select. Home screen shortcuts, that's turned on. Welcome screen is turned on, and it just says welcome when you get in the car. Down here, you've got a goodbye screen that also just pops up in the driver's information screen when you get out of the car. You can look at your favorite widgets. It says select the icon you want to change, then choose your favorite widget from the list below. Do you remember the little one up here? In fact, I think I can go to it right now. There it is. So if you want something different than these three, you can go ahead and choose the icon you want to change. For instance, I don't want fuel consumption. What I'd like to see is perhaps oil temperature. Okay, and then it switches to oil temperature up there. So you can customize that screen with the widgets. Right, you can look at birthday lists, anniversary lists, a periodic rest notification, software update, that's where that happens. And then the rest of the stuff is stuff most people don't ever go into. It's just system information, data reset. That's kind of nice when you sell the car. You want to go in there and reset everything. Then it cancels out all your data. Okay. Under sound, navigation guidance volume. If you don't like how loud it is, this is where you adjust it. Okay. Beep sounds. You can turn those off. Then you see when I touch the screen, it doesn't beep anymore. So that's what that does. Beep volume. You can have the beep on, adjust the volume, adjust your phone ringtone volume, incoming call volume. You've got your SMS ringtone volumes. You got your readout volume. Whoops. So how loud is it reading your text messages? And a voice volume. I mean, lots of places. So if things are dinging, talking to you in the car and you don't like how loud they are, this is where you go. Now under navigation, okay, you can say, here's the things I want to show on the map. So you can have it just the map, or you can have some extra things show up. For instance, show points of interest icons, POIs, on the map, and you can choose up to 5 categories. Some of the interesting things that you can do, helipad. So if you want to know where you can land your helicopter, you can turn that on. So just lots of different things you can get to show on the map, and they show all the time. You show along the route. You want parking, gas stations, rest areas, and those are already turned on, but you can turn them off. Arrival distance and time, freeway exit preview, like what's coming up at the next exit. Automatic zoom, so when you go slower, get close to a turn, the map zooms in, and then it zooms out when you're on a long stretch. Auto hide the route bar. I mean, just all these settings, and really, again, this is a one-time setup. And then you can look for a map update right here. All right, let's go over. Okay, for your phone settings here, you can manage devices. Whoops. You can manage devices, look at your phone book, recent calls, messages. You can change the name. You can look at Apple CarPlay settings or Android Auto settings. It just gives you a device list here. For the radio, if we go to FM, then you can have the HD radio settings, and you can have saved bookmarks. Well, we don't have any here, so, but that's where your radio stuff is. If you click under car, this is where you get some of your safety systems that you can adjust. So, eyesight, pre-collision braking is on, lane departure prevention function. So you can say, I want all functions. So I want the lane departure prevention, I want the buzzer warning, so I want it all. Or I want just the buzzer warning. Now I don't want it to grab the steering wheel and turn it for me. All right. Let's see, cruise control. And when it accelerates, do I want dynamic, which is really going to kind of step on the accelerator and get you up to speed? Do I want it standard, comfort, or eco, where it's really going to accelerate slowly? You get to choose. All right. Select drive on left, drive on right. So this car, if it's used, say, in England, you could choose left lane, and then it adjusts the safety systems for that. That's an interesting thing. I have not seen that before. Lead vehicle acquisition sound. So when you're having adaptive cruise on, or it's just looking, if the cameras are looking forward, it sees a vehicle, you'll get a sound. You get a lead vehicle moving monitor, and that's it. So, but you can that's just eyesight. Now you have the eyesight assist monitor. Green indicator means, of course, it's on. Yellow indicator means it's maybe not functioning, and red means it's off. So you can turn those off if you want. It's just stages of operation. Reverse automatic braking. Sonar audible alarm. on or off. You just click there to turn it. You know, the keyless entry system here, oops. You've got how long will the defogger run? Interior lights, how long are they on? The auto light sensor. So this has auto lights, so as it gets to dusk, it turns the headlights on for you. But you can change the sensitivity. If you want the sensitivity to be minimum, then it's going to wait till it's fairly dark before it turns the lights on. If you click the max, it'll turn the lights on earlier. So if you don't like when the lights are coming on, that's where you can adjust it. Let's see. Auto vehicle hold. So auto vehicle hold, what that does is, once you come to a full stop and take your foot off the brake, the car will remain stopped until you press the accelerator. There's a little green AVH letters that light up on the speedometer portion of the driver's information screen to tell you that it's active. Okay. Auto start stop. You can also turn that off there, although you do have the button right down here. Warning volumes, units. Oh, steering responsive headlamps. You can turn those off or on, but they're really nice. I think you're really going to like those. And then, of course, you have blind spot detection and rear cross traffic assist. Now, why you'd ever want that off, I don't know, but you can do it. And here's where you can change your units. And that was under settings. So I'm going to go back to the home screen for a minute. Swipe one to the right. You can add some shortcuts here that you prefer to have. So if I go here, for instance, under radio, I can hit go to Sirius XM. And there it is. So you just go like that, and then you can say, well, I want a map button that says go to recent destinations or favorite destinations. Okay? And then it does that. So you can add shortcuts, which is really nice. Now, under car here, if I click down here, you've got vehicle control, driving assistance, and others. So right here, you've got some basic controls for some of your safety stuff. So you got vehicle dynamic control on or off. That's like your traction control, cruise control, acceleration, auto vehicle hold, steering response headlights. So it's like the basic stuff that Subaru figures is most people will be looking at right in an easy button instead of the screen that we were previously at. And then again, under driver assistance, you got a few more that you can get right at. And then under others, you get those. So it's just kind of another way to do it, but they give you sort of a shortcut to do it on. All right, last one is the profiles. And here is where you go to add a profile. Now this will keep track of up to 5 different drivers. You may be wondering, well, how does it recognize a profile? Well, it uses this little camera that's right above the infotainment screen. So it actually looks at you. Now, it's going to be watching you the whole time you're driving anyways, because if you get drowsy or you start to look away a lot, it's going to start to warn you. Okay? But yeah, it uses the camera systems to keep track of who's the driver, which is really nice because you just step in, it'll recognize up to 5 different drivers and make all the changes for you. The last part of the infotainment screen is down here. It's the climate control, and it's really basic. So you can click here to turn it off, click here to turn it on. You can click here to change the modes. Okay? Fan speed. You can turn on max AC, auto, max AC, auto, or recirculatory. You can adjust the fan speed and the different modes. Now, if I click here, I can turn on my heated seat, my ventilated seat, and of course there are 3 stages. And it's the back included, not just the bottom of the seat, which I think is really nice. You can slide this for temperature, or you can use here. The easiest thing is just to use the buttons that you have right here. And then your sync button is right here in the screen. Okay? You can turn your AC on or off, and then if you go to this side, it's the passenger seat for temperature and heated and ventilated seats. It'll either disappear on its own, or you can tap it again and it disappears. And so that's all the basics on the infotainment screen here on the 2022 Subaru Legacy XT. I hope this has been helpful. Thanks for watching.